Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Yes, I'm wearing my Superman Snuggie. I love this thing. So I just finished reading. First off, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Second off, I just finished reading Phenomenova, and I thought I would make a video. Uh, I got so used to doing all this live; it's just so much easier. And yes, I'm a very lazy person. So first off, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Second off, check out my comic. Oh, I put the wrong link. So I put the wrong link. Jeez, that's funny. Check out my campaign manager, everybody. And not my comic, but my campaign manager. But nothing can be done about that. If you click on that, nothing's going to happen. I think it's just going to go to a dead link. But anyway. And then this is Phenomenova for This Is Comic. So I thought I would just check this out. So first off, let's say hello to Emily Kruger, who I don't believe actually exists. I think she is a being within the Matrix itself that just shows up whenever a camera goes on. Like right now, she's saying hello to 87,000 other YouTubers. She's, a digital ghost in the machine. I joke. Ooh, oh, Vaughn Coleman. Vaughn Coleman. Why would he be here? I have no idea, but Vaughn Coleman is crazy. I literally just finished reading your comic. It's in my hands. Oh, cool. What you think, Vaughn? What did you think? So, like I said, it's Thanksgiving. I went to work. It was rainy. Had to maintain generators. So, it's just a nice way to, whatever. So I came home, took a shower, read a comic. And which is good because this is only the second comic I read since I started fulfilling. So there you go. I just finished reading it. So this is phenomenal. Full disclosure, I've hung out with Vaughn Coleman a few times. We've had dinner a few times. We went to Comic-Con. So you know what I mean? I consider him a friend. All right. And let me adjust my Snuggie. So I'm going to try to do it as spoiler-free as possible because that's not right. This is new. This is a brand new comic. Like a 20-year-old comic, I don't care about spoilers or anything like that. I think my cutoff date is going to be like 2 years, like my unofficial rule. So, I liked it. I liked it a lot. His dedication. Look at that. Look at that little Vaughn Coleman. He's like Casper the Friendly Ghost. He's so white over here. Look at that. It's practically translucent. That's his dad. This is actually their house. This is where Vaughn Coleman and his father lived in the middle of the woods. They found a Fisher Price house and lived in it. So it's amazing from humble beginnings. A little ghost born in the woods. So here we go. This is, look at this. Nice opening splash page. I want to shout out all of the creators. We got Vaughn Coleman, the writer and the creator. Philip Cruz, artist. This is a guy to watch. So I think I'm on the nose with my reviews. Jesse Higgy. I never heard of Jesse Higgy before, but I got to tell you, the color is outstanding in this comic. George Medina lettering. I'll talk more about that later. Joseph Cervelin, and forgive me if I murder these names. Editor Ed Reed, DeCento assistant editor. Assistant editor on a comic book company with only one comic. There you go. As long as it's not doing things by half measure. So here you have the Crusader Corps. My Alexa, not my Alexa, but whatever it is, Siri on the phone just started not talking. So here we have the Crusader Corps. This is the original super team of this world. The Vaughn's world is. Did he give a specific year? But this is after World War III. So this comic. So this is World War III. Lord Dragonfire starts a superhero war. The world gets involved. Millions of people die, and then we have this superhero team. I like the designs. My thing about superheroes is simple and elegant. Vaughn is a lot younger than me. I know it's hard to believe, given my youthful visage. And Vaughn is only 8.5 years old. Matter of fact, this picture was only taken nine months ago. But he has a different era of comics, than me. I always say you always remember your first car, your first girlfriend, and your first comic. So Vaughn should have a 90s aesthetic, but he doesn't. He has a Bronze Age aesthetic. So I'm actually pretty impressed because he's following my my rules of superheroes pretty well. Simple and elegant, not too many colors unless like rainbow based or spectrum based or something like that. But I dig it. They don't give any of the names as of yet, unless I missed it. I'm not claiming to have all my noodles together ever since the car accident. But this is the image that sold it. I remember seeing this. Outstanding coloring. Outstanding. Matter of fact, he made a print of this. Oh, I will give my only nitpick. Vaughn, you put boards, okay? You ship comic books with boards, not just a bag, okay? There's my nitpick. But anyway, this is excellent. I got a little fuzz on me. So there we go. And I'm only going to go another page or two, and then I'm going to skip to one specific page to talk about something. But just look at this. The young little baby, not Vaughn Coleman, is talking with not his dad about the inspiration of superheroes. It's touching how the superheroes changed the world. And then we have his father was killed. I like that he doesn't really dwell on it. It just stated as a fact, like as a news story. And here he finds the MacGuffin over here that gives him his power. And that's all I want to show with the comic because it's new. I'm going to go to one specific page and talk about that. So he's setting up the superhero origin, which is a perfectly fine way to tell a superhero story. Start at the beginning. I'm a crazy person who did not start at the beginning because I had different reasons than Vaughn. But I'm talking about my comic Heroic Tales. It just starts. The patriarch is already a superhero for 20 years in my story. This is the beginning of Galvanite. So he gets the MacGuffin device. And again, I don't want to spoil the comic. Things happen. He gets his powers. He's a good guy. He stumbles out of the gate and he makes mistakes. He's youthful. He needs help. I love all that stuff. Peter Parker did the same thing. Even Batman in year one, if you remember, he came out, jumped out of the truck, fought guys, and they basically beat him in his first adventure. The Frank Miller telling him. I like that. I like the superhero origin. They don't use their power. He's training. I have the feeling that his powers are going to develop. He's straining, and he's just shooting these lightning blasts. So what are his powers? Electricity and speed. Perfectly good. So again, Vaughn is following what I consider the superhero rules, the pyramid. Everything flows from the name. His name is Galvanite. Galvanized metal is conductive metal, and it can be used to in the electrical process for metal. Like if you use galvanized steel at work in my job, oh geez, it's difficult to work with. It has like a potential, as we call it, and like metal fiber stick that gets really dirty. It's gritty. It's industrial. It's very easily to conduct electricity. So good job. So Galvanite, he's a knight. He's idealistic. He doesn't have armor or anything yet. Matter of fact, he barely has a costume. He's manufacturing a costume from like homemade sweaters and things, kind of like Peter Parker did. And a matter of fact, there's a lot of comparisons to Peter Parker, except where Peter Parker, in my estimation, was on the path to villainy until his Uncle Ben died. He is a good person. He lived with his father, who installed with him like good values of respect for society and things like that. So he is like a natural superhero. So not a natural superhero. He's a natural good guy who now gets powers. He's idealistic. He's young. Everything you kind of want a superhero to be. I'd rather you be a little naive and a dreamer than cynical. That way lies to the boys and supervillainy. So he's a young idealistic dreamer. Perfect. The costume will come, I'm sure, because again, I almost spoiled it. It's really difficult to do a review without spoiling the comic. But I want to say that the colors are outstanding. I'm only going to show the first couple of pages. Again, it's not fair to give away somebody else's hard work. I really like the art. The art is quality superhero art. Now, the one thing I really want to stress is the storytelling is excellent. The storytelling is excellent. At no point was I confused. At no point was it disjointed. It flowed like butter. Really, really good. Now, Vaughn, you just read my comic. Oh, I see that Don is here. I've been kind of ignoring the chat. I'll get to the chat in a minute because I'm not used to doing these videos with the chat. But the storytelling flows. It to me, that is the sign of a professional comic book writer. If you read Heroic Tales, my comic book, and you don't like it, yeah, that's going to hurt my feelings. But if you tell me that it didn't make sense or is disjointed, liking something and disliking something, that's kind of a personal choice. I can't get mad at you. Don't like vanilla ice cream. I like vanilla ice cream. That you're going to get mad at that. You like blondes. You know what I mean? Like that's personal. But if you tell me the story didn't make sense or it was disjointed or you're confused, that's a skill issue. So that's where, I had none of that. It perfectly flowed. It perfectly flowed. Again, my only silly nitpick is shipping a comic book without a backing board. We don't live in the Genghis Khan ages anymore, But I'm being silly. Am I intrigued? Yeah, I want to know what's going on. He's a young, idealistic guy who gets superpowers. I like that. The art is professional quality. The coloring is outstanding. If I have to pick out of everything, the coloring is just so good. Really, really good. The art is professional, Marvel, DC level, at the height of their powers, and the story. I'm intrigued. I want to know more. I'm trying not to spoil, but there's one I like this. This was my nitpick. He comes in fist fighting. I that came as a surprise to me. That was the one time I was like pulled out of the story. Like, okay, he's a young idealistic kid who had difficulty with a bully, and now he's kung fu fighting. Now, was that conferred with the powers? Was like the knowledge of hand-to-hand combat transferred through that? And if so, a little word boom like, how am I fighting with like this? Or because it was too soon to train. So I would. That was the only time that I was like, huh. But excellent. I'm on board. And again, I'm sure people are going to be pulling apart my comic too. So with that, this is very enthusiastic. I liked it. And keep in mind, I'm talking like this while my wife's upstairs preparing turkey and stuffing and everything like that. So I'm at the grouchiest I'm going to be, and I'm talking nice about this comic book. So that's how much I liked it. So keep that in mind. And wow, oh my God, I wasn't paying attention to the chat. Holy moly. Okay, so first off, we got Emily Kruger, who may or may not exist, or maybe there's like a factory of Emily Krugers just and Emily Kruger pops out because she's omnipresent. And Vaughn Coleman, that name sounds familiar. This is crazy. I just finished reading your comics in my head. Cool. Don't leave me in suspense. Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Eric the Guapo, he wants us to fight. Do you want me to fight this comic book, or do you want me to fight Vaughn Coleman? Or do you want the Patriarch to fight Galvanite? There's so many. Maybe that'll be in its clobbering time. And hello to you, and happy Thanksgiving. I like everybody gets along. I don't exist. I'm the controller of the Met. That might explain a few things. And what do we feed you if you don't exist? May I ask? Is this a riddle? Excuse me. I love the Patriarch. Thank you. Like I said, I still have 17 boxes to pack out, and it's all 17 boxes with pint glasses because the Gemini mailers went out with no problem. I put ground shipping on them when it should have been priority shipping. That's my fault. They got returned to me. I got to rebox them, and I got all the supplies, so they're going out Saturday. They're going to let me keep the labels. I just got to change the boxes. So that was the compromise that me and the post. So Saturday. So 2 weeks from this Saturday, I'm going to assume everybody has it. I want to make a video where we all join the patriarchy and drink to the patriarchy and have beer from our pint glasses. So Apex Comics says Phenomenova. Good evening, John's Longbox. Hey, Frederick Goumont. Did I say your name right? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Vaughn's laughing. I don't particularly know what joke he's laughing. My skin tone I got from my mom. Oh. I like I said, I had dinner with Vaughn. First off, this MFer could eat. He's about as thin as my pinky, and he ordered food. The waitress only brought him half the food because the waitress was like, "Nah, you didn't order that. That was a mistake. That was a mistake." So Vaughn is like, "Where's the rest of my food?" He ordered two meals at the Chinese place: a big bowl of freaking soup, and a big order of dumplings. And I ordered the same thing. The waitress brought me a big bowl of dumplings and a big bowl of soup because she looked at this fat bastard and says, "Yeah," but she looked at Vaughn and only brought him the soup. So Vaughn was like, "Where's my dumplings?" And then proceeded to. So he got his food way later than me, finished beforehand, and he still weighs this. And if you shine a light on Vaughn, you could see through his skin. You could see his bones, and you could see his heart beating. You can actually see what he's thinking, because that's his skin complexion. Hey, Brian Bow does Wolf and Batsy, one of my favorite comic books too. One of my favorite comic book people. He did a page in my comic. Happy Thanksgiving, Brian, to your lovely family. I just finished reading this comic, and I wanted to do. It's been a long time since I did what I call showcases. I guess I'm reviewing comics, 56 of one, half dozen of the other. But I love Wolf and Batsy. Wolf and Batsy, if for the eagle-eyed people, we'll see them in my comic. And again, Wolf and Batsy may or may not be in issue number 2. They are, but they are not. I like that. Final Metamorphosis. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Absolutely happy Thanksgiving. I started reading Heroic Tales. The art is just beautiful. Yes, it is. I cannot complain about the art. And I woke up. Well, I didn't wake up. I woke up, went to work, and then I saw Mark Millar said my comic was excellent. What else do you want? What else do you want? All you naysayers, you don't outrank Mark Millar. I don't think anybody can fault me. I'm gonna let myself float away on that for a while. So after World War II, so this is not in the far future. This is in the extremely close future. This is like in 7.5 days. Why am I laughing? Because what else is there to do at this point? Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. 80s comics are superior. Vaughn, we are not going to argue in the slightest about that. But let's say I try to. I don't want to be negative anymore. I've been negative for a while. I'm trying desperately not to be negative anymore. But everybody kind of knows how I feel about 90s comics. The Donna's here. Happy Thanksgiving. How's Donna? Did you feed her pancakes? Donna's got to get her pancakes there, Don. Beautiful spread. I don't know if you're talking to Don, myself. I was about to make a real inappropriate joke, and I stopped myself. You didn't need those brain cells anyway. Yeah. Got rid of some extra gray matter. It's all over a tree in Long Island. I'm busting your chops. At least they don't come in a floppy, soft cardboard thing like your boy Zach's comics. I'm like, the guy, dude, you're doing like $40,000, $50,000 worth of comics. Bag and board them like a normal person. Salute. Anybody watch Hee Haw? Salute. We got Praetor 7. What's up? Your comic works perfect where it starts, though I was very impressed. Thank you. I'm so excited. I spent again by myself at work. They gave me an easy job because I was out of work for so long. I lost so much money, so they gave me a nice gig. And I was talking with Renzo and Oscar, and I got some work done on my side comic, Eddie is Doomed. And Oscar, I fix it. I wanted an art correction, and I always feel so bad asking for it. And Renzo is just so accommodating. It's just so accommodating. And then I had to color is going to be a big deal in issue 2, so I had to give real explicit color directions to Oscar. And it's not that he, first off, we speak different languages. Second off, I am such a nitwick that I was like, no. And I had to search and find images to explain what I was talking about. Happy Thanksgiving, Prater John. Oh, I got this Prater 7 and then this mixed up. Brain cells. I got enough, right? Tony Greco, happy birthday, John. How's everything in Albuquerque? How's your weather? It is miserable out here. Omega Mission starts after they disbanded and now are forced to get back together again. Yes, Don has a comic that he's working real hard on. He explained a couple of concepts to me. We had a couple of late night talks about it. I'm excited to see this. And Don is one of the people that if Eddie is Doomed is going on, I have a follow-up because I have like a, superhero team in that comic that exists only in comics. And they're just too good to never use again. So I want to do like a Golden Age, Silver Age version. And there's 10 characters. So we're talking 28-page stories. This might be like a giant book or split into 2 books. And each one I want to have different artists. Super surprised of what I'll ask Don to draw if he's available. Vaughn Coleman, looking forward to reading Omega Mission, Don. If you need any feedback, right? That's how you pronounce LMK, right? You can't cut galvanized steel with the oxyacetylene torch. Right. I don't do any welding. That's a specialty skill in electricians. There's like, out of 10,000 of us electricians, I think there's only like 100 of them, and they won't let. My brother was the head of that group, and he wouldn't let me in the class. So there you go. So I never learned how to do the welding. I just cut it with bandsaws and sawzalls. Hello, Apex Comics. Remember to take a look, Don. John, my Snuggie is awesome. Yeah, I got a Superman Snuggie, and I got a Batman Snuggie. The Batman Snuggie is even cooler because it has a cowl that you could put over your head. So like this will just fall off, but the Batman one will never fall off. Like I want to sew in a button back here to keep it from falling off. Happy Thanksgiving from Dale. How you doing? Hey, Oscar, I was just talking about you. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy. Bored it. Yeah, I think I touched the nerve, Vaughn. I touched the nerve. The book looks good. It does look good. The printing is awesome. Is the back cover. The binding is great. It's got this with the UPC symbol. The paper quality is awesome. It physically, it is an excellent looking book. It is an excellent read. It's a fun read, and it does what a comic book should do. I'm interested in reading number 2. There's been a lot of number 2. There's a lot of comics in the indie scene where I bought it and I'm like, I don't care about issue number 2. Like I'll back it if I like the guy, or I'll back it because it just happened to hit on a day where I had extra money. You know what I mean? But this one, I'll find a way to back number 2 by hook or by crook. I'm interested. It's a okay. Let me. Do you like Nova from Marvel? Rich Rider of Nova. So it's a trope that works. Young idealistic teenager gets powers. It worked. And it's funny because they all say it's a Peter Parker form. No, Peter Parker was a young cynical guy who got powers and became good. He has a redemption arc in Amazing Spider-Man 15. He's a good guy. Richard Rider was a good guy from the beginning. Ronnie Raymond, who became Firestorm, if I remember correctly, he was kind of like a jockey jerk. He was like the opposite of. He was like as if Flash Thompson got powers and became a good guy through the sharing the consciousness with Martin Stern, his professor. And does anybody remember Gravity? It was a real short-lived, like creator-owned, but interacted with the rest of the people at Marvel Comics. That was another one. And Invincible. Why can I never remember Invincible's secret identity? But him. He's another one who's a good guy, idealistic. John, everyone was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. Yes, absolutely. Ed, you know what, Apex? If you were there, you would have to admit that it was a little bit frightening. It was a little bit frightening, But don't be worried because they fought with expert timing. I'm actually working on more mission script right now as we watch. Yes, I'm working on Eddie is Doomed. If you saw last night, I had a tonic bowl on my comic book team up, and I just got so excited. Matter of fact, I was dreaming. And when Tonic Bowl said, "John, whatever you do, don't change the ending. It's great." My heart swelled like the Grinch, And then Oscar said, "I got to read the script." So Oscar, I will send you the script as of right now. But keep in mind, it's nowhere near the script. The script that I have written out is just Eddie's story. I want to make the superhero story and expand it. Oops, my wife is yelling at me to get Thanksgiving dinner. See you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes. I'm just doing this to keep my mind off the fact that I want to go and devour turkey. I eat as much as Von Coleman and thin. Enjoy it while you can, guys. That's all I got to say. Cheers, Brian. Fembat is live on Fund My Comics. Only $56 more to go before I'm funded. Yeah, you go. I backed. And okay. Oh, I thought I was down. Everybody's responded. Say the word and I'm there. You got it. Well, it's going to be at least a year. Let's be realistic, because I got to make Eddie is Doomed. It's got to sell, and then I got to see if there's interest in it. Oscar is going to make a little thing so I can make promo stickers, and hail to the chat. Got to drum up interest. It's going to be excellent. It's going to be excellent. There's no way it's not going to be. Have you seen the sketch designs? I hope people still like issue 2, even though I had to go with a different colors due to a scheduling. Yeah, that sucks. It's making a comic book and keeping the team together is like herding cats. I'm more. The more I learn about this process, the more amazed I am that people actually have consistent teams. So. But the colorist is good, and Vaughn, your instincts are there. I'm sure your next colorist will be, good. Interesting point about Peter. Yeah, read Peter Parker. Like, he's the very first page. They're inviting him to a party, and he's like, "Screw you! You don't understand me." You think Dr. Octopus didn't say the same things? Like, you all understand my genius. Mark Grayson. This is the second time in 2 days somebody had to tell me his name was Mark Grayson. It's an unremarkable name. It's not even an alliteration. His name should be Mark Mason. John, I got your book this week. I read it. It's the ultimate dad book. Thank you for making. Oh, thank you. And I'm not even a dad. How dare I culturally appropriate fatherhood? I should be canceled. And I should be chased out. How dare I? It's okay. I only appropriated a Christian straight white father. That's not that. They're practically Nazis anyway. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Zaid Comics. Ernest. Hey, Ernest. Man, Ernest, I got to thank you for being like my greatest cheerleader on Twitter, man. Every time I post, you're the best. Thank you. And Zaid Comics. Yo, Don. So there we go. I wanted to make a short video about Phenomenova. It's a quality book. It's a fun book. I'm curious where the world goes. It's drawn professionally. And to me, the best part is it's not confusing. The storytelling is excellent. If you watch my channel for a while, you'll notice that is my biggest criticism most of the time. There's different skills. Writing is a skill. Writing comic books is a skill. My friend Jimmy, one of his characters is going to be a big deal in coming soon. When I say coming soon, I'm talking like issue 4, 5, or 6 in Heroic Tales. And I already suggested how we're going to introduce him. And I asked him, like, do you want to write the story? Because it's based on a superhero. I know Jimmy's a good writer, but, being a good comic book writer, that is a different thing, just like being a playwright. So Vaughn's a good comic book writer. Vaughn, you're writing like prose stories too, like horror prose stories. I'd like to write horror, but horror is all about timing. Same with comedy. And now I'm babbling. But the coloring is great. Oh, the lettering. I said I was going to get back to the lettering, and then I never did. Great lettering. This is one thing the artist does, and I'm sure Vaughn has to be an art director, or maybe the editors. I don't know. Maybe he's letting somebody else be the art director. I don't know. I don't know the workings over there at Rebel Oasis Comic. But when you have these panels, you got to leave space for the lettering. It's just, and you know what? Because I don't know, again, I don't know how Vaughn works with his team, but I sent Renzo and Oscar the full script. I said Bill, the Williams, the illiterate, the full script. They have it for months before everything's done, and they whatever, they could read it, they could not read it, whatever, and then the art comes back. I never have to tell Renzo, move this over for the word balloon. He knows how much dialogue is going to be in each box while he's drawing it. I don't know how other people work, but again, the lettering is really, really good. So there you go. It's hitting on all cylinders. In a perfect world, this would be, I don't want to say Marvel or DC, because then, that makes it not Vaughn's. But in a perfect world, this would be there on a comic book shelf next to Batman, next to Spider-Man. It would, it would go well. I know we are all racking our minds to fix the I don't want to say dying, because I used to say dying, and then Mark Miller he interestingly observed that comic books had 30 years in the newsstands, 30 years in the direct market, and he says this is the beginning of another 30-year cycle. Isn't it exciting? And it made me feel this big, because before he said that, I was, oh, it's dying, it's dying, it's dying. And he made me realize it's changing. So who knows? Who knows? There you go. Hail Phil. Hail V-Man. Oh, you're talking about Vaughn. Okay. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. What? You sending everybody full scripts? Did you see Roma Eternal in your monthly comics? If for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Oscar is the colorist on a new comic. Number 1 just came out called Roma Eternal by Humberto Rios. I hope I pronounced his name right. He's the writer. I don't know who the artist is offhand, but it is like a sci-fi Roman Empire. Just think of it as like a heavy metal is telling a story about the Roman Empire. It's really the only way you can start. It's excellent. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Issue number 2 will be in December by Magma Comics. You can get it at comic book stores. I already read it. So unlike some people who recommend comics, I actually read them first. The weather here is cold, but it's nice and warm in my kitchen, cooking up traditional turkey dinner for the guests with some green chili. I actually have some frozen Bueno hatch green chilies in my freezer. I gotta make a. So you put green chili like sauce on turkey? I mean, green chili sauce is good. When I first moved to Albuquerque, I was like, you people with your green chili, shut up, get away from me, you're all crazy. 7 years later, I'm coming home ordering green chili and making it, and I make green chili breakfast burritos. So good. And then I ordered red chilies. Like, what is that called when you get like a big bandolier of red chilies? And then my wife boiled it up, powdered it, and made fresh red chili sauce. For Canadian, she made some, not for anybody, but I'm just joking that she's Canadian, and she made awesome red chili sauce, like fresh, authentic red chili sauce. I got a couple of New Mexico Ristas. That's the word, Ristas. So good, so good. Hey, Matt Bowers here. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Sweet new comic. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hail the chat. Hail the chat. And yesterday, I also got Aaron Lopresti's Kit Carter. That is my next comic to read. I'm trying to read all the crowdfunded comics first before, as you can see, stacks and stacks. I moved the stacks of comics. They used to be over here. Now they're over here, because over here is my printer and my scale and everything for fulfillment. This is my little fulfillment center. So there you go. I've been talking now for 34 minutes. I'm at the babbling point. So unless I see comments, I will shut it down. But overwhelmingly, good comic, recommended. All right. All right. Looks like everybody go back to your normally scheduled Thanksgiving. Bye-bye, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.